You're watching the 4 o'clock news on Oklahoma's News 4.
The nation's first lady headed to Oklahoma. What's behind her just announced trip to Tulsa?
Plus, fire destroys a metro home. What made the battle to contain this blaze so difficult?
We're going to get to those stories in just a moment, but first, thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Eli Roberts.
And I'm Jolene Cheney. We begin here at 4 from the Forewarned Storm Center, where Mike is tracking another round of winter weather.
Say it isn't so, Jolene. Yes, I bet folks are a little bit irritated that it's still so very cold outside today. Low cloud cover never gave up. It is very cold. Temperatures did not modify. Let's take a look. We've got a lot to talk about from the Forewarned Storm Center on this Thursday, and that's cloudy skies, a little bit of light fog, and yes, a few flurries of light snow here in Oklahoma City. And the most pitiful part about this is the current temperature, 24 degrees outside. That's it. A north wind at 7. Arctic air is trapped in central Oklahoma and has no place to go. We are the coldest in the state right now at 24. Some sunshine in western Oklahoma, middle to upper 30s and 42 in Altus. Here is your Thursday evening, 24 degrees at 10 o'clock. The winds will be fairly light. Wind chills will be in the upper teens with a few snow flurries, so bundle up. But Eli and Jolene, it is about this weekend storm, and let me tell you, this one is packing a major punch for Oklahoma. It's going to be a mix of ice and snow and Arctic chill and high winds. Now, the ice is going to start developing on Saturday. Saturday night, ice overtakes a good part of central Oklahoma. And then here comes the snow, good snows, heavy snows in northern Oklahoma, and even some snow in portions of the Oklahoma City metro area on top of that ice. Combine that with below zero wind chill factors. There's a lot to talk about. That forewarned forecast is coming up.
It's one of those days, Mike. Thank you. Massive flames burned a Nakoma Park home right to the ground.
Fire crews rushed to the home near Northeast 23rd and Westminster early this morning, but there just wasn't anything they could do. Faced with enormous flames, thick black smoke, crews were forced to battle that blaze from outside the house. Another problem here they face, no fire hydrants in the area. Surrounding fire departments had to haul in water. The homeowner, Elwood Selvage, tells News 4 watching his childhood home go up in flames was really difficult and painful.
Get too old to start over again. Gotta do what I gotta do. Do the best I can do anyway.
Selvage says he tried to put the fire out himself before the crews got there, but his outside water hose was frozen. He and his family made it out safely, but they lost 2 dogs and a cat. The cause still under investigation.
And now it's time to check in with Kevin Ogle in the Sky Center.
Well, there were high hopes, but President Trump is now headed home from Vietnam ahead of schedule after his high-stakes talks with North Korea's Kim Jong-un fell apart. The president says the regime agreed to at least a partial denuclearization, but in exchange, North Korea wanted the sanctions lifted against them. Trump says that is a no-go. After failing to reach an agreement, the talks disintegrated. As for another summit, well, President Trump says there are no plans for that yet. But coming up this evening at 5, what the president said about the death of an American college student that is raising eyebrows coming up. By the way, First Lady Melania Trump will be in Tulsa on Monday. Her visit is part of her tour to promote her initiative, Be Best. That announcement just a little while ago. That's all from the Sky Center. Back to you.
Thank you, Kevin. Time now to take a look at what's hot on the web. A family that want answers after their daughter was hurt at a Missouri daycare.
And that's because there are a lot of questions. That girl was not playing on the playground with another child. Instead, surveillance video shows that she was thrown across the room by, get this, a teacher. Before we show you this video, we want to tell you first, it is disturbing. Take a look. As you can see right there, that girl appears to be calm as she's just standing by the table. But watch as the teacher grabs that little girl and just throws her right across the room. The 3-year-old's head was split open when all of this happened, and she had to get 7 stitches. The teacher told the parents that she had just fallen, but it might have been a lie because you saw the video. It shows a different story. The daycare did not review the footage until 5 days after all of this happened, and that is when the teacher was fired and the police started their investigation.
It's a big gash.
It is.
Now to California, where it was an ordinary day for a snowplow driver until he hit a car buried in snow. That's when his day turned into a rescue mission. The driver contacted police after hitting the car to get it towed away. But as police and the driver started digging out the car, to their surprise, there was a woman inside, and she stuck her hand out the car's window. The 48-year-old said she'd been trapped for 4 or 5 hours, but officials think it was probably longer than that. She walked away unharmed and, of course, very lucky to be alive.
Also hot on the web this afternoon, the husband of Oklahoma's own Carrie Underwood shared some video of his wife singing to their son, Isaiah. By the way, happy birthday, little guy.
It was the unusual tune, though, but with a twist here. Take a listen.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Isaiah. Happy birthday to you.
Let me have a hit of that.
That performance rocked the Oscars.
We should do the newscast that way, right? It got many wondering if Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, and we're talking about the Oscars now, not
Yeah,
Carrie Underwood,
right.
are actually an item. Are they? Well, that's the question. Lady Gaga.
In the shadow, we're far from the shallow now.
There it is. That's the song that's got everyone talking. Lady Gaga is finally answering the burning question, are they in love?
And if you're tired of popping antacid tablets, how you can help reduce your acid reflux naturally.
Plus, more controversy out of the state of Virginia. We're going to tell you why the First Lady is now coming under fire.
You're watching the 4 o'clock news on Oklahoma's News 4 with Jolene Cheney, Eli Roberts, and Mike Morgan. Oklahoma's News 4, looking out for you.
Oklahoma schools are now
After more than a 2-year break, parents can now find out if their child's school is making the grade.
That's right. About 90 minutes ago, the state released the new revamped school report cards. News 4's Jacqueline Chappell has been scouring the website to see how some schools ranked. And Jacqueline, from what you're telling us, some scores will have new key factors backing up the final grade.
It will focus on different categories, including academic achievement and growth and even attendance. But parents need to realize the first letter grade they see doesn't tell the whole story.
After 2 years without, Oklahoma schools are now getting officially graded. Your child's report card is back and with some changes.
For the first time, a real in-depth view of the growth that is happening in schools. And that's extra important because we know many of our students are far behind.
The new report card isn't the same that the schools had just 2 years ago. Hoffmeister says it won't double or triple count students like the old one.
It did not share the view we have that all students should matter and that we should be looking at the progress of all kids.
When you visit the landing page to look up your kid's school, instead of seeing a big scarlet letter grade, you'll find the first thing listed is programs of excellence, including whether they offer fine arts programs, world languages, or even being labeled as a safe and healthy school. On that page, you'll find other letter grades for the school's academic achievement, growth, chronic absenteeism, and even high school graduation rates. For example, class in SAS in the state's largest school district scored an A ranking in academic achievement, but a D in chronic absenteeism. Under that is the school's overall grade of A. You can see how it compares with schools in the state like Douglas High School, who received an overall grade of F. The school also received an F in achievement.
There is room to grow. We believe all students can grow and all schools can improve.
And coming up tonight at 5, how the state is going to help those struggling schools make the grade. And if you'd like to see how your child's school did, go to KFOR.com, where we have a link to the new state school report cards.
Thank you, Jacqueline. In today's health check, that spicy quesadilla or maybe your late night snack might have seemed a little good. It might have seemed like a good idea at the time, but those choices could have you in some serious pain later on.
Yeah, and everyone's been there, right? Late at night, so you pop out that spicy food. But guess what? Popping an antacid, it might not be the right choice because there are some natural ways to cool down the burn of acid reflux. If you ever have a burning sensation in your cheek or maybe start coughing for no reason, it turns out both are signs that you might be experiencing acid reflux. Symptoms include a burning feeling in the chest, along with hoarseness or a sore throat, even a persistent cough. There are some easy and natural remedies that may reduce or eliminate your acid reflux. First, though, you're going to have to change up your eating habits.
We know reflux is triggered from having food and a distended stomach. And so if you overeat at night, you have a risk of reflux occurring.
Okay, so that's some good advice. Next, you're going to have to adjust the types of foods that you're eating. What does it mean? It means eliminating fatty meals, carbonated beverages, also caffeine and chocolate.
What?
Yeah, got to do it. And it's also a good idea to limit your alcohol consumption. To help you evaluate what is triggering your acid reflux, experts recommend keeping track of what you're putting in your body by keeping a food diary.
Forewarn Weather is sponsored by Newcastle Casino. Now, Forewarn Weather with Mike Morgan.
Did you hear Jolene gasp at that? Was it the caffeine or the chocolate that got you concerned?
I'm just going to leave it at 2, not
both.
3. 2.
The answer
Two
was
of
both.
them. Yeah.
Let's take a look. Important weather information, folks, to talk about our weekend winter storm heading our way. And let me tell you, in a very big way. It might be one of the sharpest changes to winter you've ever seen in early March. That big of a deal. Let's take a look outside here in Oklahoma City. And it's plenty cold out there right now with a few snow flurries in the air and Arctic air in control. We are in the lower to middle 20s outside. 24 degrees. The winds are northerly at 7 miles per hour. Coldest temperatures are right here in the metro. Ponca City's 29. It's 42 in Altus. That's nice. Guyman's 48. Out on Black Mesa, it's in the 50s right now, but our wind chill factor is in the middle to upper teens, and they'll stay in that range this evening. So do bundle up if you have any outdoor plans. Between now and 10 o'clock, still about 24 degrees, and there may be a few snow flurries out there with a cloudy sky. It is sunny right now in western Oklahoma, but cloud cover will gradually increase and build back into most of our state overnight tonight. So here it is. Still on track in a very fast jet stream. It's now moving away from the northern Hawaiian Islands, approaching the west coast of the United States. It has tons of tropical moisture related to the El Nino that is strengthening. And this storm, it is a fast mover, very fast mover, but it'll do an excellent job at tapping bitter cold air. And it will be, without a doubt, the coldest weather of the winter so far. And we're going to see ice in Oklahoma, and we're going to see snow in Oklahoma, and we're going to see drifting and blowing snow in Oklahoma. And we'll see wind chills as cold as -10 to -15. That big of a deal. So we'll break that down here coming up. Tonight, temperatures holding steady in the low to mid 20s. Skies cloud over tomorrow morning if they never clear tonight, which they might not. So 39 is going to really put a lid on the temperature for tomorrow, Friday. Here comes the first Arctic front moving into northwest Oklahoma late tomorrow, and that'll start to trail the temperatures off on Saturday. 22 are low tonight. Metro lows from 21 to 24. There might be a couple of snow flurries around tonight as well, but nothing major there and nothing major as far as your roads are concerned. Just really cold tonight, right? 18 in Alva, 18 in Woodward, 20 in Ponca, 23 in Enid, 22 tonight in Clinton. The winds generally light and variable, and a cloudy day tomorrow and a cold day tomorrow for Friday, 39. With perhaps a bit of patchy drizzle starting to develop as the day moves along. And with the cloud cover, it's just going to put the brakes or a lid on the temperature. 38 to 40 for metro highs tomorrow, and middle 30s, upper 30s, low 40s across our state. This is where there may be a little patchy drizzle starting to lift up towards central Oklahoma by tomorrow afternoon. Now, here's my map for Saturday morning. I would anticipate developing freezing drizzle. 27 degrees Saturday morning in Oklahoma City, and we may have developing drizzle, freezing drizzle in the morning on Saturday. This could become a problem pretty quickly as the day moves along because the ground temperatures are cold, and we may moderate to about 32 Saturday afternoon, which will be kind of problematic in terms of the drizzle, the freezing drizzle changing over to light drizzle. So I've got green and red here on the map showing temperatures above freezing and temperatures right at freezing on Saturday for highs. Saturday night and Sunday morning. This is snow and blowing snow here. High winds. This is ice and then snow on top of the ice in the peach. This is freezing rain and some snow in the red. And this is mainly a cold rain in southern Oklahoma. And look, just take a look at these temperatures. 11 Alva, 16 in Enid, and dropping down around 20 in Oklahoma City. We'll have 40 and 50 mile per hour north winds. By Sunday afternoon, the storm is hightailing it quickly out of Oklahoma, but Arctic air in control. Middle teens to low 20s for highs. There's the ice zone Saturday night and Sunday morning, and here's the snow. Kansas, all of northern Oklahoma, and much of central and north metro as well. That'll be on top of the ice. And keep in mind, wind chill factors dropping between 0 and 10 below 0 right there as the Arctic air comes plunging in. More on that in my 7-day coming up. Welcome back. Won't get rid of the cold air. It's going to stay cold. 39 for a high tomorrow. Cloudy, some patchy drizzle. The winter storm comes in Saturday. 32 a chance of ice. That goes to ice and then snow. Very cold temperatures heading our way. Record cold, in fact, guys. More at 4:30.
All right, so we sort of touched on this before, but that's because it was perhaps the most stirring performance of the night at the Oscars.
Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper singing their Oscar-winning song "Shallow" from the movie A Star Is Born. It convinced a lot of people the couple may be more than friends.
In the in the shallow, we're far from the shallow now.
Well, according to Lady Gaga, they're not in love. The singer clearing up rumors last night on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Gaga says they are just two actors singing a love song and playing the parts. She said Cooper worked hard on that performance, came up with the entire concept, even how they'd walk up to the dimly lit stage.
It's a good way to get people talking all the same. Anyway, everyone is also talking about what's going on in Virginia, and you have probably heard about the scandal surrounding the governor.
He's been resisting calls to resign amid an embarrassing blackface scandal, but now his wife is facing her own controversy. Here's Heather Holman with the story everybody's talking about.
Hi, guys. Well, yeah, some people say the governor's wife was racially insensitive after she reportedly asked African-American students to hold cotton during a tour of the governor's residence. But others who were there say she gave cotton to all of the children and asked them to imagine what life had to have been like for the slaves there.
The Virginia governor's mansion is facing a new allegation of racial insensitivity. This time, it's First Lady Pam Northam who's under fire over an incident that allegedly took place during a tour of the executive mansion's old slave quarters. According to a letter obtained by the Richmond Times-Dispatch, Leah Walker, a Virginia state employee, says Mrs. Northam upset her 8th grade daughter. The young girl also detailing the episode in a separate letter, saying the First Lady asked the girl and another African-American child to hold cotton and to, quote, imagine being an enslaved person. Walker's daughter describing it as beyond inappropriate, especially considering recent events with the governor. The letters were first reported by the Washington Post. Mrs. Northam telling NBC News, I've provided the same educational tour to Executive Mansion visitors over the last few months and used a variety of artifacts and agricultural crops with the intention of illustrating a painful period of Virginia history. I regret that I've upset anyone. Walker also told NBC News she's extremely disappointed in official responses that are as tone-deaf and insensitive as the initial bad act. All of this as Pam Northam's husband, Democratic Governor Ralph Northam, continues to ignore calls for his resignation over that racist photo on his med school yearbook page, which he denies is him. The governor did admit that he once darkened his skin to dress up like Michael Jackson for a dance contest. It's just the latest controversy confronting some of Virginia's top elected leaders. The state's Attorney General Mark Herring tried to bounce back from his own blackface scandal, and Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax fighting 2 allegations of sexual assault.
A lot happening there. And another state senator whose daughter was also on that tour says the cotton was passed around to all students. And she says, while some may have been uncomfortable, it seemed then that no one took it the way it's now being portrayed. Guys.
Yeah, it's amazing how everyone has a different take on this. Heather, thank you. Well, if your doctor gives you a cancer diagnosis, you'd probably be hesitant to take a wait-and-see attitude about it, right?
Yeah. But for one type of cancer, that's become a more popular option. Coming up in our next half hour, the latest strategies to improve men's health after a prostate cancer diagnosis.
Then at 5, back behind bars. An Oklahoma escapee in custody again. We've got the new video showing his arrest in the middle of a busy street.